So the game was finally released. Let's get down to it after this countdown. Welcome back to the Critically Clueless. I'm Marty, and yes, that's right, CyberPunk actually got released. Yay! Now, the wait is over, and we can all agree that this game has been the hype of the year, if not the decade. So, this will be my review on the game. Now, remember, this is my thoughts and my opinions only, so without further ado, let's get started. Cyberpunk 2077 is an action RPG game, and it was released on the 10th of December 2020. Now, it was developed by and published by CD Projekt, and it is on the Microsoft Windows, PlayStation 4, Stadia, and Xbox One. And it is to follow on the next gen consoles very soon. Obviously, you can actually play the game on those, but they haven't released the update version of the game on that console yet. Now, the price for this game, I mean, you will be lucky to actually get it under £50. Now, I did actually manage to pay £35 on PC for mine, but you know, the only problem with that, I've got to play it on GOG, and I'd rather have it on Steam, but you know, who cares? Now, this game was made by the same people who brought us all of the Witcher games, so it is safe to say this game is going to be very in depth and have a ton of side missions in the game, so there is no chance of getting bored of this anytime soon. So I was really excited about playing the game as CD Projekt had actually optimized Cyberpunk 2077 around the NVIDIA GeForce RTX graphic cards. So seeing this game with all the ray tracing and so many lights blooming so bright meant I couldn't wait to see this, you know, as I actually have a NVIDIA 2070 GeForce RTX Super GPU in my computer. And I'm not afraid to say this, but I much prefer games that look breathtaking in every way. But as many of us know, this game has not been working quite right for probably nearly all of us. Now, I've seen so many people asking how to fix the issues with frame rates dropping and how to just get the game to run smooth. Now, I was having a lot of problems first. I have actually probably spent more time trying to sort this issue out rather than actually playing the game. But with a lot of tinkering and messing around with every graphical setting, I finally got it to work. It seems quite smooth now, and the frame rate seems to be quite steady, so it is actually working quite well, and I'm obviously going to be carrying on with that. With that being said, I will be doing a video on what my specs are in my PC and a full rundown on my settings, just so I can hopefully help out some others who are having the same issue as me. Now, when you start the game, you get to pick V's life path, each having a very different background, right? You have three options. You got Nomad, Street Kid, or Corpo. Now, I picked Corpo as it seemed like a good choice at the time. After this, you get to create your character V. Now, there are lots of things to change with this. You can choose to be a male or female, which is good, and you can change everything from your hair right down to the private area, which was a laugh. But the only problem that I've seen with this is that you're unable to change your height or weight, which is really disappointing, as I wanted to be, you know, quite tall and overweight, as well, that would be me basing the character around myself a little bit. Anyway, the next things you can change is your stats. Now, you have 5 things to choose from and change how you want, but only have 7 points to use at the beginning. So, there is body, which is more for your athletics, so your carry capacity and stamina, etc. You've got your annihilation, which is your shotguns and heavy stuff. And then you've got your street brawler, which is hand-to-hand combat stuff. Then there's reflexes, which can upgrade how you use the handguns, and my favourite, blades. They're a very fun thing to use, and I've enjoyed them a lot. Next, you've got technical ability, which is your crafting and engineering. So you can craft items and upgrade your weapons and gear. Then you've got your intelligence. Now, there's two in there. You've got breach, protocol, and your quick hacking, which is self-explanatory. Last is cool, which is your stealth and your cold-blooded, which will basically give you buffs on weapon recoil, movement, speed, and etc. And it is something good to have, obviously depending on what kind of character you're going for and how you're going to particularly play the game. After this, you start the story on whatever background you choose. Now, you have the choice to do tutorials, which to me it seems quite pointless because there's 4 tasks that you've got to do, but really they only need one in there, and that is how to hack. All the others is your basic movement skill, sneaking around, your shooting and your melee combat, but it's all pretty self-explanatory, to be totally honest. But you can't do just one without doing them all, so it's really up to you if you want to skip that or not, because it does actually give you the option to skip, which I wish it did. So how does the game actually look? Well, as I said to Monk, it is insane on just how much detail they have put into this game. It is probably the best looking game I've ever seen. I mean, I actually can't even think of anything else that comes close to this, but, does it play as good as it looks? Now, at the moment, that would be a no. And I had so many problems at the beginning. The sound was choppy, the frame rates were right down. I've had the NPCs walk past me, then when I've looked back round at them, they've completely changed into someone else. I've had NPCs disappearing or just reappearing in front of my eyes out of nowhere, and that's been quite a bit of a weird one. But yeah, so there is a lot of updates that will need to be done to get this sorted, but as I said earlier, I managed to fix the issues with a lot of the actual sound issues and the way the frameworks are working. So I've actually sorted that for myself, and the other problems I actually haven't really seen any more of. Now, have I been enjoying the game? That's a yes. I've been on this game since it was released. I haven't stopped or got bored. The story pulls you right in and it doesn't let go. Now, I'm not going to talk about what the story is about, as obviously there are 3 different paths to choose from, plus I don't want to ruin it for anyone who is going to actually get this game, because I don't think that's actually fair. Now, the fighting on this game seems great. I haven't seen any issues with it. I absolutely love the katana sword. I love how you can chop people to pieces. The actual dismemberment that they've put in this game is really good, as you don't really see it in many games nowadays, and it is something that should be put in. Now, it can cause some funny things to happen, like I have had some funny glitches where someone's hand was stuck in the ground, literally waving at me. That was quite fun. So, driving on this game, now it looks really good. The sound from the tyres screeching is really fun. You've got smoke pouring out from the tyres as well when you want to do wheel spins, which is really good as well. Now, I've only driven a car and a bike so far. I actually don't know if you can drive anything else. We'll find that one out, to be fair. But what I have found is, even with a controller, it's quite hard to drive. Now, I thought going from keyboard to analog would be easier, and, I wouldn't crash. But was I wrong? Because when you turn just a little bit, it doesn't seem to do anything. Then you turn some more, then whoosh, you're into a wall. Now, this could just be me. I mean, ask Monk and Gavin, they both think I'm bad at driving, so it could just be me. That one, you'll actually have to let me know and comment your thoughts below if you've been seeing this same issue. Now, with the fighting and shooting, is it any good? That's a yes. I love the close combat fights. I love sneaking up behind people and taking them down, and getting into some good old gunfights. But the actual swords are probably better for bigger fights. They seem to take enemies down a lot quicker and easier than the guns will. But with the guns, I have noticed that it's very hard to run out of ammo. So take the pistol for example. At one point I actually had over 400 bullets, and that was just for the pistol. Then I had more for the assault rifle ammo, and more for the shotgun ammo as well. Now, this isn't even to mention how many grenades I actually had at the same time. Now, it does seem far too much for one character to be able to carry. Like, where are you actually putting it? Now, to talk a little bit about this as well, there is no punishment for dying. At least there isn't on normal. I'm not sure about the other difficulties, so you'd have to find that one out. But if you die and just reload to checkpoint and try again, the only annoying thing with that is if you've picked up things and die, you can bet your ass you're going to do it again. So obviously you have stats within the game as well. Now obviously the more people you kill along with missions completed, you gain XP, which will level up the player and giving you access to more perks and buffs. Now I must say to actually be careful with what you pick, because unless you have saved before upgrading your stats, you won't be able to take back an upgrade if done by mistake. So once it's picked, that's it. That's it for good. So there are certain clothing, items and weapons that you can't actually equip until you've reached the required level for said item. So, doing all the little side missions and just taking out random gangs when you see them will boost up your XP along with your level. Now, you can actually carry the items and you can sell them, but obviously you just can't equip them if you're not leveled up to that level. Now, with the weapons and clothing, you can upgrade them to improve your health or your damage dealt or even damage taken. Now, this is very good thing to do as it will be needed as you progress through the game. So with the clothing, not only does it change your stats, but it also changes your look, which is really fun. Now, if there is any weapon you don't want, then you can dismantle them for parts needed to upgrade things or craft your own items from blueprints that you've acquired. You can also add mods to the items. I'm not going to go through the list of what there is, as it would take far too long to do that. So with your weapons, they all have different stats, ranging from how much damage they will inflict to how fast they will shoot, and so on and so forth. Now you can also get attachments, that being your suppressors or your scopes and other things to actually add to the items and guns. Now there is just so much customization to this game. It could take you hours just looking through it all and everything you can buy. Now anything you don't need, you can, as I said before, you can dismantle it or you can go and sell it. Now hopefully our talented player the monk will be able to find a cash exploit, as he is good at doing this type of thing. But do you think it will ruin the game? If so, let me know below. Now, I want to give a big shout out to Task Force Gaming. Now, they are fully covering this game, so if you want to head over to their channel and take a look at their content and see how they're tackling the game, then please do, because they are putting up a lot of footage of this game. So now I'm at the part where we rate the game. Now, I have to rate this game for what it is right now and how it has been for me. So here we go. Now, I really wanted this game to get more than what it did, but it's still got a very good score of 7.5 out of 10. Now, it's only got marked down for 3 things, which were: does the game work? And that's a no, not really, so got half a point for that. Is it user friendly? No, it's so in depth with all the weapons and perks, it's gonna take you a while to figure it out. So I can't say that someone could just pick this up and go, oh, I know how to do it, because they won't. So again, it only gets half a point for that. Now, the sound of the game as well. Well, for me, I've had a lot of audio issues, so it's only going to get half a point for that as well. Now, I really wish this got more, but all I can say is I will do an update on the score when all the problems have been fixed. Now, if you've enjoyed the video, please hit that like button and the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the notification button as well. Now, as always, we've been the Critically Clueless. I've been Marty. Catch you again soon. Bye.